Susie McGregor Lane. It's great to be here chatting with you in what is definitely not your kitchen. I think we have to stress that.
I agree with you, darling. It's a bit of a mess, this kitchen.
Yeah, you could use a little fixing up, but it is. We were on set of Come Back Little Sheba at the new Genesius Theater
Correct,
on Duquesne.
yes.
And this is the second performance to be performed in this space, is that, or for the summer company?
Well, for the summer company, exactly.
One of my favorite movies of all time is Auntie Mame. And in this film, they talk about Vera Charles, the actress, who speaks with sort of a put-on English accent. And at one point, they ask Rosalind Russell, is the English lady okay? And Mame says, oh, she's not English, darling, she's from Pittsburgh. Well, she sounded English. And Mame says, well, when you're from Pittsburgh, you have to do something. So is your lovely accent put on, or are you not from around here?
No, I'm not from around here. I was originally from England. I was born and brought up and went to school in the UK. And I came here in 1968, and I've been here ever since. So I sailed here actually on a freighter.
Wow.
That's the cheapest way to travel when you have a lot of stuff. There were 12 passengers. It was great. We had a fire on board, the whole night.
Wait, like intentionally?
No. It was a fire in the engine room.
Oh, I thought maybe folks were just, wanted that campfire essence, roasting marshmallows. It was an amenity or something.
No, it was in the engine room. And, we got as far as getting into the lifeboats. And I'm like, oh my God.
This is like Titanic. So prior to that journey here, what was your opinion of Pittsburgh?
I knew absolutely nothing about it, really. I mean, it never came up sort of in geography lessons or anything.
Right, it doesn't. It's under the radar, yeah.
I mean, when I first, I was telling people in Hong Kong that I was coming ultimately to Pittsburgh, it's like, oh, that used to be the dirtiest city, blah, blah, blah. But then, I have to say, when I arrived, I found the people here to be just the most welcoming and friendly people I've ever met. And I did not intend to stay here. It was like, well, this is going to be great. I'll get there and I'll work and I'll get a job, and maybe with Alcoa or even somewhere else I can travel around. But I like Pittsburgh so much, I said, I'm staying.
We're happy you did. Now, did you begin your stage career once you were here or prior to traveling to Pittsburgh?
Oh, no, prior to Pittsburgh. My parents lived in Kuwait, and I worked in Kuwait in like the early 60s, and somehow I got involved in a show with the British Council put on in Kuwait, and didn't know what I was doing, of course. That was my first show. It went quite well. Then I had to do a pantomime where I had to sing. I don't sing.
Well, pantomime that's
yes.
just all. See, you did, but I didn't think that involved a lot of sound.
The traditional British pantomime. Yes. It's a whole different ball game.
I was hoping you could get away with miming singing, and then you'd be okay.
No. But and then from there I went to Hong Kong, and I actually auditioned for the Hong Kong Stage Club. They have a really good theatre.
Wow.
There, and managed to get in. And my first show there was to play a 13-year-old obnoxious British schoolgirl. Of course, I was only 21 at the time. So, I did a few shows there. Then I got here and I joined community theatre out in Upper St. Clair for a while, and just kept going. You audition where the auditions are, so to speak.
So how does the Pittsburgh theater scene compare to the theater scene in Kuwait?
There is no comparison.
You were the star of the Kuwaiti theater.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in my opinion, I feel that you've been very successful here. I feel that there is a guard of stellar actors that we have in this city that we've enjoyed for many, many years, and in my opinion, you are among the brightest of those.
Oh, thank you.
And I know you are very humble, and you would never say that, so please allow me to say that for you.
You said.
Yes, and I did.
I mean, I have been very, very fortunate. I've had some great roles with some great theatres, and certainly John Lane for the Summer Company and Red Maskers, he's given me some of my toughest and greatest roles, but I did a lot of work with Picked, with Quantum. I've done a couple of shows with them. I can't remember them all. They go out of my head. I'm concentrating on
This is what resumes are for. People can look it up.
Read this.
Yeah. So here you are about to step into what I feel must be an incredibly challenging role, Lola, in Comeback Little Sheba. I mean, it's essentially about a couple who have been married for maybe
Eons.
a while.
No, quite a while.
Yeah,
yes.
and are trying to restore hope in their relationship amid a various number of difficulties, one being alcohol abuse on the part of the husband.
Alcoholic, right. And I think you are left with a lot of questions. It's like, well, what do you think he thought about her? And, and her handling of things. She's so bored with life and so basically unhappy that she tries to be like super bubbly, and she talks to the milkman and the postman and the next door neighbor. She never shuts up, and then she gets resigned to her life. But I have to say that working with Mark, who plays my husband, is just a delight. He's just wonderful to work with. And Mark, her character is so much more complex, I think, than you realize when you first read it. And I was reading something that Stella Adler wrote about the play and about how Inge wrote it, in the sense of it's just not as simple as it appears on the surface. And how Inge deals with his women.
You've got a terrific cast.
Yeah.
We've mentioned Mark Yockham.
And Lauren Brendel, who plays Marie, that's the young boarder. And then one of her boyfriends, George Ramey. Another one she's engaged to, there's a question, is Nate Yost. Now, he's John Yost's son, John, who just did Consorts here.
Oh, yes, last year, yeah.
Tom Colas, Heather Clark. Of course, let us not forget our wonderful director, Mr. Justin Sines. I told you I'd say that.
He's in the audience there, yes. Our studio audience tonight. This is great because, with the seats here, it feels like we're on like Oprah.
Really.
We, just without the cars and all the prizes under the seats. Now, I do realize it might be in slightly poor taste to be enjoying martinis talking about a show that deals with alcohol abuse. I hope that we're okay.
Oh, yeah.
What's Doc's
so long
drink?
as I don't have too many.
Oh, yeah.
Because then if I do, I'll be falling over. So did I answer the question?
Yeah, I think... again, whatever you say to me is right. Whether I'm not interested in the truth, Susie. Just your version of the truth.
Okay, then that's it.